Good day, good people. It's your guy Lewis to the T, and I'm excited to bring your seventh installment of Black History Month 2021. Today is Sunday, February 7th, and I am excited to talk to you guys today about Black Pride. What is it? To be black and to be proud. I am immediately prompted to think about the song written by James Brown, I'm Black and I'm Proud. That was something that was just, prolific for the time to be excited and to be outspoken about being black and being proud in the United States of America. So that's going to be our topic for today. I think it is, vitally important that we talk about it. I mean, woven into the fabric of Black History Month is Black Pride, and it's something that we shouldn't shy away from. We should be excited about. Black Pride is really about being in a space and in a place where you are not normally or traditionally celebrated or accepted, and making sure that people who look like you, who live as you, and who support you understand why you should be proud of who you are and the contributions that you make. And that's really what Black Pride is all about. I mean, we live in a time where people challenge it and want to ask you, why is it still relevant? Why is it still important? What if I said white pride? Well, I think the biggest difference between having black pride and white pride goes back to what we're talking about this month, history. Historically speaking, when people talked about white pride, it did not come out as a good or an affirming or a positive thing. That's not to say there's not a such thing as positive or good white pride, but historically what we have seen has been an attempt to harm or disarm or demean particularly African American people. When you hear about black pride, you hear about people dwelling on accomplishment and the historical significance and the value added when you say that. So words matter, actions matter. When people say your name, or when people say a term or say a word, how does that word, that term, or that name make you feel? Sometimes the context of a word, the connotative definition we give, is even more important than the denotative definition that stands out there. It's not all about what's written in the dictionary, but sometimes it's about what's commonly understood and known. And I haven't had any occurrences where people have talked about black pride and it didn't make me feel good and it didn't make me feel better. And the words and themes are always ringing in my ear about things that are positive and uplifting. Beyond black pride, I think about Nina Simone's Young, Gifted, and Black. That was another song that came out during a time where people like me and like many of you that are watching, African American people, were demeaned and minimized. And so it was crucially important that we hear that on the sound waves. I mean, how powerful is it to know that in your neighborhood and in your community you're going through something that's fighting against you and teaching you and telling you that you're not worthy, but then also to be able to turn on the radio and hear someone tell you that not only is it acceptable, but it's expected, and that it's celebrated, and that it's a good and it's a wonderful thing. Black pride are things like our HBCUs, historically black colleges and universities, where walking on campus, you're immediately affirmed and told how valuable you are, and you learn the history of where you stand. All of those universities do an amazing job at you making sure you understand the history of where you are, how it came to be, and why it's still relevant and significant. When I think about black pride, I think about the Divine Nine. I think about our fraternities and sororities. I am privileged to be a part of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. It is very important to me. It's a vital part of my life, and all the other members of the Divine Nine fraternities and sororities feel the exact same way. It's more than just something that we did in undergraduate school or even graduate school, or once we graduated even as an alumni member. It really is about something that's deeply embedded in who we are as individuals and as a people, that this is something that stands with us and stays with us throughout the entirety of our lives. That is a form of black pride. That is a celebration of who we are as a people, being dedicated to an organization where that is the central focus and that is the central goal, to build, to make better, to add value. I remember listening to an interview with Toni Morrison one time, and she was asked if she could write books from a white perspective. All of the characters in her books were always central focused around black characters, black life, and what it was to be black in a particular place or time, or so it seemed to the person who was interviewing her. And I'll never forget her answer. She said, it is amazing, and it's almost not an arrogance, but it is a privilege to be able to even ask the question. The question is asked, if I could write with a white gaze, with a white vantage point, with a white view, as if it was a thing to accomplish. And she got, it's Toni Morrison, so the answer was much longer and much broader than that. But just that piece of it, it just did something for me. It affirmed me in that moment. I know that I'm using that word a lot, but it really is about affirmation, validation of who you are, why you are, and that you should be unapologetic about that. You don't have to explain it as a way of defense. When you're talking about it, it should be a celebration, it should be a learning or a teachable moment, it should be a history lesson. It shouldn't be in a way to justify. We are who we are and we stand as we stand. When I think about Black Pride, I think about Oprah Winfrey's Legends Ball. If you don't know what that is, please look it up. Please go to YouTube. I believe there's clips about the Legends Ball. I'm not sure if the entirety of it is out there, but the Legends Ball was Oprah Winfrey's celebration of Black women, in particular, Black women who made an impact on her life. There was not a Black woman you can think of who could have been celebrated in that time that was not there. They were all there. I mean, some of them have passed away as of now, so going back and look at that, you understand how significant it was for her to thank them. It was literally a weekend designed to thank Black women who paved the way for her. Think about the opening of Tyler Perry Studios and how each studio is named after a different Black actor or Black actress who's contributed to the art form of film and movie making and television, and how significant that was. Those are forms and expressions of Black pride. It's celebrating specifically and in particular who we are as Black people, saying it's valuable, it's worthy, it's something to celebrate, it's something we should lift up, something we should never shy away from. So during this month of Black History, make sure that you research and do something in coordination with Black pride, value, uplifting, putting a smile on somebody's face, teach somebody who doesn't know, remind somebody who seems to have forgotten of what they're worth and what their value is. And I'm your guy, Lewis to the T. You'll see me again tomorrow. I don't know how I went from every once in a while to every day, but hey, I accept it. I'm excited as long as you guys are excited, and I hope to see you soon.